What's going on YouTube? JT Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Batman Urban Legends issue number 18. Sorry, I'm a few days late on this one. I got this one, and then it turns out I completely forgot that there was another Dark Crisis tie-in, so I will be talking about that as well. And then we will move on to the next batch of stuff in terms of comic book stuff. So want to get this one out today, and then I got one more to get out, and then I should have another video out by tomorrow or something like that. And then we'll move on to some other stuff. But anyways, Batman Urban Legends issue number 18. Yes, this series is still going on. And instead of 4 stories like Urban Legends typically has, we actually have 5 different stories this time around. So I'll quickly kind of summarize the ones that kind of take place as we go through it. So the first one is a Duke Thomas storyline, and this one was actually pretty good. It did a good job showcasing Duke's situation, explaining the whole Outsiders thing. I actually like Batman and the Outsiders by Brian Edward Hill. I thought that was a pretty good series. But basically here we kind of have like some members that kind of just stick around, and then they have like kind of a 5th member who kind of just joins out. So that's why it says like Robin and the Outsiders, Green Arrow and the Outsiders, Mr. Miracle and the Outsiders. Just kind of the same group of people that kind of are working together. You have Duke, you have Metamorpho, you have Black Lightning and Katana, and then you usually have someone else that kind of jumps in. Duke is really stressed. He really misses his mom. He's trying to figure out where she's at. And it's just, you get to see the toll of superhero life, how it takes on him. And visually, they orchestrate that quite well. It's like Monday, Tuesday, I'm like, I can get some sleep. He can't sleep at all. He's just constantly working, and he's experienced burnout. He's got a lot of pressure going on with him. Black Lightning and that kind of takes a look at this. Batman's there to kind of help in. And everybody just kind of jumps in by the end of the issue to be like, look, Duke, you're clearly going through some stuff. Our top priority right now is I'm going to be joining the Outsiders for this mission, and we're going to find your mom in that. So this was written by Brandon Thomas with art by Alberto Jimenez Albuquerque. I thought it was quite good. I think it's one of the best Duke Thomas stories we've had in a while. So, yeah. Next up, we had Batman and Etrigan the Demon, Blood In, Blood Out, written by Henry Burroughs, and then, as you can see, there's the credits right there. But basically, something's going on here. Etrigan pops up. There's some villains that kind of show up as well. We get to see Etrigan's brother, who had a connection with him. Batman and that all have to kind of culminate and work together in some ways to stop this other demon. And then by the end of it, like, Jason Blood comes back, and the day pretty much is kind of saved right here. This one's, you know, well, like I said, I like the first one, the storyline a little bit more with Duke and that, but that, like, this is just like a singular story. But like I said, there's some cool stuff here with Etrigan. There's some really good artwork. It's nice to see a little bit of more of Etrigan's lineage and kind of seeing like how his brother comes to be. Well, not like his origin or anything like that, but we get to see like a bit of a family connection with Etrigan and this other demon's character right here. The issue does reference like issues from like a long time ago. This is going all the way back to this stuff from 1992, which I don't really remember because I haven't really read all that much with Etrigan the Demon. I'm aware of the character and his rhyming ability and all that stuff. But basically, villains kind of stopped by the end of it, and like they kind of had to work their way through and stuff. Good stuff overall. I just think the first storyline is a little bit stronger. Then we had the third one, which is Chapter 1. So we have 2 things that seemingly are going to have a little bit of an ongoing story. There's the Duke thing, the Duke Thomas one, and the Outsiders. Then we have this Alfred storyline with him kind of solving this case. Something gets stolen, and he agrees to kind of go look for it. He lets Batman know about it. Characters are in danger. Things are happening all over the place. Somebody's kind of dying. There's like a bomb that's ready to go off. Alfred's kind of being like world's greatest detective. You get to see some of his charming personality and quick witted thinking skills. It just makes me really kind of miss seeing Alfred in the main continuity. You know, ever since Alfred's been kind of gone, it does feel like there is a real void within the Bat family. You know, give them props in that they've let it really kind of stick for a while. They didn't really make his depth feel like, okay, he's just coming back right away. Like, you do miss Alfred. There is a huge void with him not there. And I believe that he's going to be coming back in the Batman vs. Robin miniseries. They kind of seemingly let that slip out in issue 2 that he's going to be kind of around. Maybe he'll be alive at the end of the latest issue of Robin. I don't know how it's all going to turn out with all this stuff, but yeah, there's some cool stuff with Alfred in here. It's a more Alfred-focused storyline. We get some of his quick-witted nature, his it's just Alfred, and you can't go wrong with Alfred. Alfred's one of my favorite Batman family-related characters, and I do miss seeing him in the main continuity. But this is Chapter 1. It's a pretty good start. There's suspense and all that within the issue, and it's primarily Alfred-focused, and that's always a plus. Then the fourth storyline is basically Batman and Tim Drake. I think this one's written by Tini Howard and Blake M. Howard, and it's set kind of in the past. It's set kind of in the past right here. It's Tim Drake as Robin. This is after Jason Todd had died. We get to see Bruce and his guilt and insecurities over what happened with Jason. Like, you see his fears kind of on display here. There's a lot of patients at Arkham that are seemingly going into like a sleep state of sorts, and we come to find out that this is all in the workings of John D, aka Dr. Dr. Destiny, that's right, who, by the way, is in the new Sandman series, which I actually did watch the first couple episodes of, and there's some pretty decent stuff, and I will say the best part of the show by far was David Thewlis as Dr. Destiny, without question. I still have a few episodes left to watch, but I really liked what they did with Dr. Destiny in the show. He was by far the most interesting character, so... yeah, so there's that, and then they have to eventually kind of stop and, save the day, and Tim has a conversation with Bruce about wanting to talk about Jason. Then the last storyline we have right here is a pretty quick one. It's Belle and Bo. You have this girl who is working at the Iceberg Lounge, and she's kind of getting shit on and stuff. Then her friend kind of comes into play. They've been kind of ripped off by villains and stuff, so they're like, you know what, let's kind of steal and rip these villains off. They kind of become a Bonnie and Clyde-esque group of characters. They start stealing from the wrong people. They kind of screw over Kite Man. Then Batman shows up. Killer Moth shows up in that too. And they eventually kind of escape. And it's kind of a really quick story. Nothing all that new, crazy, or serious about it or anything like that. You really could have done kind of without it. But if you're really interested in those characters, you can kind of... get into it a bit, I guess. But those are the issues in a nutshell. The best story for me was probably the Duke Thomas one, because that was the most interesting thing I feel like they've done with Duke in a while. Really kind of like actually putting him in a relatable fashion, showing the stakes of the story, showing him really vulnerable, showing the true exhaustion in the life of a superhero, and that having to deal with constant shit after constant shit. So I quite like that a lot. And then you'd have the Alfred storyline after that. And then afterwards, maybe the Dr. Destiny story I like too. And then Etrigan the Demon. And then last place was just kind of that extra fifth story, which isn't all that half bad. It's basically almost a Robin Hood-esque thing of these two characters. It just felt kind of abrupt and like, why do we really need that storyline in there? Is it going to be setting up for something else? It just felt like really just kind of brief and stuff. I could have either fleshed it out a little bit more, or you could have just omitted it entirely. But those are my thoughts on Batman Urban Legends number 18. Urban Legends is a series where I don't think we necessarily need it, although there are times where we do get some good stuff within the series as a whole. So there's that. But anyways, if you have any thoughts on Urban Legends number 18, let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to come back next time. I'm going to be talking about the latest Dark Crisis issue, which I completely forgot was even out at all. I really should have said something about it. But yeah, so we'll talk about that one in a second. That's going to be written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. So yeah, all right. Well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and we'll see you all in the next video. Peace.